be seated. Chag Sameach, everyone.
Chag Sameach.
So, as I was thinking about freedom in narrow places, Mitzrayim, I was thinking in particular about two different quotes that I look to on Passover that help me to see whether I'm getting to a different place this year than in years past. So I'd like to share them with you and talk about them for a moment. So Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, who many of us know, a more modern theologian, wrote that freedom means more than mere emancipation. The glory of a free society lies not only in the consciousness of my right to be free and my capacity to be free, but also in the realization of my fellow person's right to be free and their capacity to be free. And I think a lot about this, I think particularly this year. What does it mean for us to create the kind of society where not only enables our freedom and our understanding and appreciation and gratitude for the freedoms that we enjoy, but also making sure that we are creating society and systems that allow every person to be free and allow every person to have the kind of life that allows them to be free in the world that we live in. One of my mentors always taught every day, but especially on Passover, we have to remember that we are not truly free until all people are free. And so even though we talk about and celebrate this holiday of being free and practicing our religion in safe spaces and having the ability to do that, we also need to recognize that we have to keep working towards that freedom, right? There are still not only Jews who have not achieved the ability to practice and be free and do all of the things that we want them to do. We know that there's certainly anti-Semitism that happens, but other faith traditions. And that needs to expand even beyond faith traditions. Are we creating the kinds of systems that allow all people to be free and to express themselves freely? The second quote that I always think about, and I want to invite you to think about as well, is Rabbi Yitzhak Greenberg, who wrote that the Exodus serves as a kind of navigational star by which to measure whether we are heading on the right path. And I think that we can think about this both in relationship to Rabbi Heschel's quote, right? Are we creating the systems and are we on that navigational path correctly? But also personally, where are we on this navigational path? Are we using this story of freedom as a navigational star by which to measure whether we are heading on the right paths for ourselves? We often get caught up in a certain direction and a certain path in life, and it seems like there might not be an off-ramp or the way that we're doing things, it's just the way we do them. But are they the right paths? Are we creating these places of freedom for ourselves in our own lives and our own practices? Are we allowing ourselves to remove the barriers that keep us in a narrow place sometimes and move into that place of expansiveness? So I'd like you to take a moment, maybe turn to the person next to you, or put in the chat online if you are comfortable doing so. Is there a place that you want to use this Passover to motivate you, to inspire you to move out of a narrow place and into a place of expansiveness and freedom? Does anybody, you don't have to, does anybody want to share anything about a place that you would like to move into expansiveness this year? Jesse online says that I want to be better today than yesterday, which I think is a really beautiful reminder that every day we can seek to be better for ourselves, for the people around us, than we were yesterday. There's always an opportunity to do better. Anybody else? Be more patient. That's a really good one too, Carmen. Thank you. Be patient. Patience with ourselves, patience with other people. Yes. Anyone else? So this is sometimes, I think, a really personal something, right? We talk about societal freedom and societal moving from narrow to expansion. But I also want us to remember that we have to look inward as well. We have to find that place. And there are places of narrowness that we create for ourselves, not necessarily because we need to, but because we have those expectations and those ways of doing things for ourselves. So we need to remind ourselves and give ourselves a little bit of chesed and kindness, that Mitzrayim can also be personal, and that part of Passover is also moving from a narrow place inside of our own selves sometimes and into a place of expansiveness. Because only when we give that chesed to ourselves can we also create chesed for the world around us. It helps. One leads directly to the next. So we're going to move into our Torah reading. I'd like to invite everyone to please rise as we open the Ark.